I'm building a safe ballroom. And one of the reasons I'm building it is exactly what happened last night. We're building a room right there. If you walk out and move 20 yards to the left, you'll be right at the entrance to the ballroom. And that ballroom is being built on the safest piece of property in this country, probably one of the safest pieces of land in the world.
President Trump says the shooting and attempted assassination at Saturday night's White House Correspondents Dinner proves the need for the White House ballroom. As you know, last fall, the president tore down the East Wing. That was to make way for a new ballroom. The drawing plans show this will be, if built, 90,000 square feet. It will fit or seat 999 people. The president says it will likely not be complete until 2028. But in December, the National Trust for Historic Preservation sued to stop construction. Their lawsuit came a week after the White House finished demolishing the East Wing. The group claimed the president exceeded his authority in tearing down the East Wing. They argued that the president needed congressional authorization. On March 31st of this year, federal judge Richard Leon ruled that the construction must stop until Congress authorizes it. Then in early April, a United States Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit ordered Judge Leon to reconsider the national security implications of any stop on construction. So 2 weeks ago, in response to the Court of Appeals, Judge Leon amended his order and blocked construction above ground, but did allow underground construction. The case immediately went back to the Court of Appeals, and the appellate court reversing Judge Leon, ruling that, at least temporarily, both underground and above-ground construction can continue. On June 5th, another hearing before the Court of Appeals will be held. At that time, the appellate court will determine whether to make its order permanent, reverse it, or even amend it. Yesterday, Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche called this lawsuit a, quote, frivolous lawsuit. Blanche added, quote, if your client does not dismiss this lawsuit by 9 a.m. Monday, meaning today, the government will move to dissolve the injunction and dismiss the case in light of last night's extraordinary events, end quote. Now, today, the group says it will not drop the lawsuit. Pennsylvania Democrat Senator John Fetterman joins me. Nice to see you, sir. And the last time we talked, we were both in a jolly good mood, standing in line going into the dinner. We didn't anticipate on Saturday night what was about to happen. But your thoughts about Saturday night and how it unraveled?
Well, I mean, I'm sure you could confirm that it's like a mob scene. I mean, there's so many people in there. It takes 30 minutes to get even to your table, just trying to, people are so packed. Yeah, you can see that on that screen. And I encountered Speeder Johnson. I've encountered Secretary Rubio and Secretary Hegseth. And I was really stunned. I'm like, the entire line of our succession of our government was right there effectively in like 200 square feet or so. And I'm like, is that really... that's dangerous. Honestly, I never had any idea or thought that they were going to have like an assassination point. But that place was never designed to have an event like that and that kind of a danger. How people remember in 1995 was the Oklahoma bombing there. Can you imagine? They could have had months to plan this. I mean, if you could imagine, we could effectively, if that was planned enough, there could have been a serious danger in our country, having many parts of our line of secession taken out.
So where does this law lead us? I mean, obviously what happened Saturday night tees up the topic of funding of DHS. And so now where are we headed with that?
Yeah, it's crazy. That's almost the only Democrat. It's like, for all this time, the DHS has been shut down. Like these resources have been sidelined for no reason. And it's unreasonable if you want to have some reforms for ICE, but shutting the entire DHS down does not accomplish any of those things. And Iran already has had an established history of wanting to assassinate Trump. They would have had months to plan on that. honestly, I would say we got really lucky last night, not just thankfully because the president was hurt, but there were any other people in that line could have been harmed as well. You had Vance, you had Trump, you had Johnson, you had Rubio, you have Hegseth, I mean, you have all these kinds of people like closely right there. And that's really the reality. And that was the danger. And that's why it's easy for me to say, yeah, there should be a ballroom. Just that. And I've said that online. It's like, let's just drop just like Johnson. That's how close that way everyone was there too. That's the line. It's like president, vice president, speaker. And now really the only one that I think wasn't in that chain was Thune. At least I didn't see him there. But my point, I said, drop the TDS, let's just build this ballroom. And we always, as Democrats, we want to be the party of abundance, but we have a history shutting things down or taking years and years to do the very basic kinds of a thing of construction. And the president is not going to be in office when that thing's even going to be finished, so this isn't really him. But so that's part of it. And the concern, you could have a lot more inclusive and frequent and secure, the most important, secure events just in a facility like that. I never really had a problem with it to begin with, but I've been at events where people are in tents. I mean, it's just like, that's not the most powerful country in the world where people trudging around in sod, in tents for state events. So like, that's part of it. That's really the reality here. And after that event, we got so lucky as a nation. So why are we arguing about, is this too big? Is it too this or too that? It's just, let's do this.
And let's have a little foresight, too, because we are putting politicians, senators, and congressmen out there between now and November. Let's use our head about that before we have to deal with, quote, a lucky accident, one that didn't happen the other night. Senator John Fetterman, thank you, sir.
No, thank you for having me. And now what I'm saying, it's like, this is like a country over party, and people can't forget, things like the Oklahoma bombing. That was really essentially one, maybe two people involved on that. It really couldn't have taken much
That's
to
amazing.
Have that situation. Yeah.
Indeed, it doesn't. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
And
thank
coming
you.
up.